Good afternoon, everyone. I just had a bit of a pre-show that I'll be eliminating or cutting out once this is available in YouTube. It takes a little while to process, but then I can cut it off. I just wanted to see if I could get a few more people involved. There's a few now involved in the chat, but I haven't done this as a scheduled live chat, so I've just popped online because I want to talk to you about something exciting that I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. So what I want to do, I'm not sure whether most of you realise that I run a very successful wedding and portrait photography studio here in Melbourne, Australia. And what I've found is I get an awful lot of questions from people asking about how I run my business and, how do I run a successful business and things like that. So what I thought I'd like to do over the next couple of weeks is to actually, I'm just going to turn the volume down because I think it's a bit hot. I actually want to show you how I run my business from the start to finish. So basically what I'm going to actually do for you all is I'm going to start doing a daily chat. And I'm hoping that I can keep them down fairly short. I mean, I don't want them to go on for an hour for each broadcast, but sometimes that may just happen depending on what you guys want and the sort of questions and things that you ask. So what I'm planning on doing is running it from start to finish. So tomorrow, for instance, I'm going to go over the hardware that's required to run a wedding business. So I'm going to take you from basically the start to finish about what I think you'd need to run a wedding business, because a lot of people are often asking me, what do I need to run a wedding? What cameras do I need, etc., etc. So tomorrow I'm going to take you through everything that I use in a wedding. And I'm going to talk about what you do need to, as a minimum, to start running your wedding business. So that's going to be tomorrow's broadcast. Is I'm going to be talking about the hardware requirements that are used for weddings. So obviously, if you are already a wedding photographer, you may not find this part relevant. I'm hoping you do still get something out of it, but definitely for beginners that are trying to get into this industry, I'm going to share everything that I use. Now, I don't want you to think that this is just going to be a Sony rant, because I'm going to talk to this about a generalist type way of getting in. I'm going to not make it so hardware specific. Now, you all know that I shoot Sony, but I'm going to try and keep it down to looking at all cameras to get into wedding photography, and also to be doing studio photography as well. Hi, Succamus, how are you? So, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to start doing hardware. Then I'm going to take you through things like there's going to be marketing. There's going to be what studio software do I use to maintain client contracts, things like that. How do I get in contract with my clients? How do they book me? So I'll show you how I've set up my website. I'll show you how you can pay through my website. I'm going to show all of these sort of things that you can do. I'll take you through my studio to show you how that's set up. And I'll take you through how my wedding business runs as well. So I want this basically to be like from a start to finish about how I run my whole business. So I'm not going to hold anything back from you guys. I'm actually going to sort of show you how everything runs. So what I'd like you to do is, obviously we've got quite a few watching now, but if you do watch this after I've finished, please leave in the comments down below what you'd like me to cover, because that's going to be a great thing too, that I know what people are interested in and want to sort of see as well. So, there may be something that I haven't thought about that you would like to know some information about as well. So if you can, leave me those questions down below, and I'll definitely try and answer them as this series goes on. What I'm going to try and do with this talk, though, or these videos, I keep it related to the subject at hand. So, for instance, if it becomes a frequently asked question about gear and stuff like that in the normal day, like for instance, if I'm talking about marketing, well, I'm not going to discuss hardware on that day. Obviously, I have a live broadcast every day, every week as well, which is on a Thursday US time. So if you have frequently asked questions and stuff like that, you can ask it at that time. And I'm probably going to start a frequently asked question live broadcast as well, so you can throw me that just for questions, because I get so many people asking questions coming along. So this is something like, for me, I struggled when I first started my business. I mean, it's a long time ago. I struggled when I was starting my business to know what to do, because unfortunately a lot of photographers won't share that information with you. So I want to bring the whole thing out in the open to you guys. Like I said, I love teaching and I'm always open to helping people. So what I'd like to do over the next couple of weeks at least is to talk about how to run a successful business, how to start it, how to market yourself, how to set up websites so that you can sell yourself that way. I want to talk about the whole industry as a whole to give you guys a a foothold to get in. And like I said, I want to start that tomorrow with talking about the hardware that's required to get into wedding photography as well. And you'd use the same gear for portraits as well. I am going to keep it to weddings and portraits. I don't do baby shoots. I basically just do weddings and fashion modeling type shoots. And sometimes I'll do family shoots, but I don't do baby portraits, that sort of stuff. But so I'm going to start talking to you about that tomorrow. So like I said, if you can, please leave your comments down below because I will address them. Use this as a chance to get some things that you've obviously wanted to find out before and you've never been able to find the answer. Like I said, I'll be open to everything. The only thing we can't really discuss, I think, is pricing because it becomes a bit sensitive, but I will talk about general pricing about what I make and how much I charge. But I know in certain countries it can be an issue because it can sort of start to get into collusion. You're all colluding to set your prices, so we have to be a little bit careful with that. But I will talk about how I sort of set my pricing and how I do that. I'll talk about how I bring prints, how I use that as side of it. I'll be talking about what software I use to retouch, how I use Fusion, which is video and stills together. So I'm going to share everything with you guys. So I hope you really log in. So if you can, please guys, if you get this, like it, share it so we can get as many people as we can on board. And I'm excited to start sharing this with you all tomorrow. Now, we'll probably, because I came from a lecturing background, I taught at university for a number of years photography. I probably am going to start doing this a little bit more like in a classroom sort of thing, and I might use my Wacom Intuos and sort of do it like a whiteboard sort of thing, because I think it's rather than just having it slideshow, which can tend to be pretty boring, I'm going to try and make it live for you guys so I can change it as need be. So I'm hoping it's a different approach that you'll all enjoy. But again, we're all going to be learning this together, so I'm pretty excited about sharing it with you as well. So look out for me tomorrow. And it'll be really, really good. Have you got any questions, guys, before I log off? Because I know there's a few of you watching now. So have you got any questions before I do log off today? We've got a number of people watching. Do you think this is a good idea? It's something that you're interested in, guys? Like I said, a lot of you who can't comment now, leave your comments down below and I will address those. I'll mark them down. And I'll make sure that I cover it in this series that we're going to put out together. I've actually saved this as how to start and run a successful wedding and portrait studio. Now, this is obviously part 1, and I'm just going to go over in part 2, part 3, part 4, etc., talking about a different thing each day. So it'll be interesting to see how we go into it. So George said yes. Keylight Digital said great idea. Looking forward to it. So yeah, that sounds great. We've got a couple, most of you are from America at this stage. So yeah, so it'll be great, guys. So that's all I wanted to do for you today. I just want to keep this nice and short today. And I'll see you tomorrow for the first part of this, which is going to be hardware. I'll put it as a scheduled live chat, and we'll do it that way so it gives you an idea of when I'm going to actually be starting to do this. It's something that I have been wanting to do for a long time. And it's something that, like I said, I keep getting questions asked over and over and over again. And it's something that I want to share with you rather than, like I said, it's so hard for new photographers to get this information out there. And I just want to give something back to you guys, especially now I've got over 5,000 subscribers in YouTube. I want to give something back to say thank you to you guys. So I'm not going to hold anything back, guys. So I'll see you tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to having a chat about that. Mav said, care more about the business but not pricing. And that's the thing, Mav fan. I'm going to talk about my business side of it as well. I'm going to bring up, like I said, everything about the software that I use, the contracts, how that's all done, how the questionnaires go to clients, things like that. So it'll give the whole business side of it, which is so hard to see. You can get this sort of information sometimes on other YouTube channels, big YouTube channels, but often they'll make you pay for this sort of thing. And to be honest, half of the time those people are just there for the money in trying to get something back through, I can't say who the sites are, you'll know who I'm talking about, but basically they're just there to make money. Well, I'm not making anything out of this, so this is just going to be basically a way that I can give something back to you for supporting me, and it's certainly not something that I'm going to charge you for, so it's going to be free, and I just want to basically give you everything. James said, wonderful idea. I'm just going to make that a bit bigger, James, because I can't quite see the questions. How about building a portfolio high models? Yeah, well, these are great, James. Just make sure that, like I said, that this live chat's going to disappear as soon as I stop doing this. So make sure you put a question down in the question below, and I'll add these because that's the way I can remember it, and I'll write them down. So like I said, if you do have questions that you want me to do, put them in the question box down below, and I'll make sure I write it down and address it as this course runs on. And I'll sort of talk to you all about that, like building up portfolios and being mentors with photographers and everything. I want to bring out the whole lot with you. I even want to talk to you how some photographers are outsourcing their work, what I think about that and what options are available and things like that too. So I want to talk to you about it all. Sakama said, will you have sample documents we can download, contracts, etc.? Yeah, I probably will, Sakama. So I do have a contract that I use. I mean, I can send you to that. I can send you that document, but the problem is you really, depending on what country you're at, you really need to get that looked at yourself. Now, I might take you through what my contract is, but I don't know if legally I can share them because I think they have to be done by a lawyer. So you've got to be very careful about using that sort of stuff. But I certainly will take you through what I use, and I'll show you how I do it and what's available and how you can get those. So yeah, that will be discussed. So we'll talk about contracts because it's a very important part of your business. That's about it. Most people are asking those questions. Like I said, make sure, guys, you leave them down below because it's so important that I can get those and write them down to make sure I don't forget what you're all after, because everyone is after something different here, and I want to keep it very concise. I want to make it to the point. I want to talk about exactly how my business runs. I'm running a very successful wedding business and portrait business. So you're seeing it from someone that is making a good living, unlike when you look at half of the people on YouTube who are claiming you're going to be millionaires running these sort of businesses. That's not the way I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it from being a realist in that you can earn a decent living. No one's ever going to be rich doing this, but you'll make a decent living, and that's what I'm offering. I'm not trying to pretend like some of these internet sites that you're going to go out and make, $300,000, $400,000. It's not the way it runs, but I do run a successful full-time business, so I'm going to share that all to you. Nick Pallock Photography said, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Now, if anyone is interested, there's just if you are local in Australia, Michael's Camera are having a Sony A9 open night tonight. So I'm going to go to that. So if you did want to have a chat with me, I'm going to be there in Melbourne. So whether you're available or not, but if you are local and you see this, please come out and see me. So that's about it, guys. Please leave those questions you've got down below because it will help me build what I need to give to you guys. So that's all I'm doing for today. So I've just wanted to say stay tuned. Hi, Mitch. How are you? Tune in tomorrow, Mitch, because I've got some really interesting stuff to share with you all. So that's all I'm going to show now, guys. So